Okay, what's up, y'all? It's me from the future. So let me go ahead and let y'all know. Y'all know, I don't know if y'all know this, but I got ADHD. So during this video, I didn't know it was gonna be this long because I didn't know I was gonna talk about it this much. But it was a really good episode. Y'all know I'm still getting up on my editing game. I'm still getting up on my vlogging, YouTubing game, whatever you want to call it. So just be patient with me, okay? Just enjoy the episode, enjoy the show, and yeah, here we go. What's going on, y'all? How are y'all doing today? How was y'all's Christmas? What y'all do? Or if you don't celebrate Christmas, what did y'all do this weekend? How was this weekend? Did you go anywhere? Did you do anything? I hope y'all had a good, if you celebrate the holiday, I hope you had a good holiday. I hope y'all did everything you wanted to do, whatnot. I hope you got some things that you wanted to get. That's why I was late on uploading an episode, the episode review, because I watched it Thursday. And I want you to know, I had sat down and had every intention of filming a review of it Thursday, but I had to work, and it was too much, y'all. So I didn't get a chance to really do what I wanted to do. And then I had said I was gonna upload it Saturday, but Saturday was Christmas Eve, and of course. And what's funny is I still had to work on Christmas Eve. So literally at no point did I get a chance to do anything. So anyway, I want to get into the episode because so I'm still kind of trying to figure out what I want, like, the format of these videos to be, because as it stands, I've been like doing like a scene by scene breakdown of the episode. And so I don't know if I still want to do that, because I just feel like, I almost feel like it takes up a lot of time unnecessarily, but then I don't know. So if y'all have any kind of feedback like that, please feel free to let me know, because this is the first time I've done like a review of something, and really had to, because I want to obviously give you enough of the story to where you know what's going on and don't feel like, oh my God, what is he even talking about? So I don't know. I don't know which way we're gonna go with that. But if y'all have any kind of suggestions or ideas or thoughts, or if you can lead me to like another review channel that you like to, watch, kind of point me in their direction, because the ones that I personally watch, they do like really in-depth reviews, and I don't know if I need to do that with this, because I still want you to get like the experience of watching the episode. But I mean, that's kind of the whole thing, is like spoilers. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Okay, so speaking of spoilers, there are going to be spoilers ahead for the episode, and some of them, at least one, is like super big. So if you do not want to watch that and you want to go ahead and watch the episode, then just pause me, go watch the episode, and hightail it on back so we can finish talking about it. Okay, so I guess you decided that you want to come back, or you decided to keep on watching. Whichever one you did, thanks for being here. So let's go ahead and get into episode 4 of Wicked City. So in this episode, there are a couple of big things happening. Camille is being trained by Tabitha. Angela and Mona are having issues, and Claudette is actually in Atlanta, and she is there to find Camille. With Camille being trained by Tabitha, Tabitha's trying to show her like how to control her magic. She's trying to show her how to like make the spirits stop talking to her and kind of tune them out at will. Here's the thing about Tabitha's training. I'm not gonna say she wasn't training her low-key. I'm just gonna say that she was like, control your magic. And I was like, she doesn't know how to control the magic. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It was so funny to me. It's not like necessarily a critique. It was more so just like an observation, because I was like, she doesn't know how to control the magic, which is why she is here to talk to you. So I don't know. That tickled me. So she is, trying to teach her how to use magic. It is not going well. Camille is still having like all the voices like come at her at one time. She's getting overwhelmed by the magic. It's making her tired. And so they're just kind of continuing their journey on working with that. So in this episode, Mona and Angela are actually having troubles like in their relationship, and they're having troubles connecting. Mona has decided in this episode that she's done with magic. She don't want anything else to do with it. It's brought her nothing but turmoil. She doesn't want to continue practicing it. She doesn't want it around her like that. Like, she's good. And so at one point in the episode, Angela is working on like this medicinal type potion thing that's gonna help like with unresolved traumas. And so she's thinking that it's gonna also help Mona to get past what happened to her. But Mona's really upset because she's like, I don't even want to look at that. I don't want that around me. You know, I came here so I can hang out with you, so that you and I could spend time together. I don't want to see this. And so they get into like this argument about it and whatever else. And so Sherise has a lot to do with this episode. Let's just go ahead and say that. Sherise has a lot going on in this episode, which I love because y'all know I stan Sherise. So Sherise like comes in the house, and she, at one point, and she's talking to Mona, and she's like, girl, what's wrong with you? And you know, she just tells her like, me and Angela not in a good place right now, whatever. I don't know what gets into my girl Sharice's mind. I don't know what happened that made her decide that she wanted to do this. But for some reason, Sherise entrances Mona and tells her that she does want to go talk to Angela. She does want to work it out, and she does want to be together. And I was like, Sherise, what are you doing? Like, because that's one thing that Sherise had promised she would never do, was use magic on them. And then, you know, they had referenced earlier in the season that Angela doesn't like the idea of people's free will being taken away from them, and you know, ideas being planted in their head, which low-key is kind of like, that's Sharice's whole thing. So are you just saying you don't fool with Sherise like that? But anyway, so you know, Mona goes in there, she makes up with Angela. Angela is so shocked. She's like, oh my god, because Mona tells her, you know, I love you, and Angela's like, you've never told me that before. She is so happy, y'all. She is over like to the moon. And it was so sad because, you know, it's not real. Like, not to say Mona doesn't really feel like that, but it's sad because, you know, she's under this spell. Not spell, but like, you know, Sherise used her power on her. So, another big thing that happens this episode is we find out that Claudette is actually in Atlanta, and she's looking for Camille. So it's like, okay, what is my girl finna do? She's like hanging around outside the shop, stuff like that. Like, she knows where they are. It's not even just like, oh, well, I'm looking for them. She knew exactly where to go. And Claudette does not strike me as a woman who's gonna stay hidden for too long. So as soon as I saw her in front of that magic shop, I said, yeah, it's just a matter of time, baby. It's just a matter of time. But she has herself cloaked, so they can't necessarily find her. Like, Tabitha and Caden can't necessarily find her. So it's not like they can just, Camille, okay, once they figure out that Camille does in fact have death magic, and whatnot, and they kind of talk about what that means, what that entails, Sherise makes a decision that she's going to go call Tabitha, because this is like completely out of their league. Like, this is something that they cannot do by themselves anymore. This is something that, you know, is completely out of their hands. And so Caden lets Tabitha know that, you know, Camille's powers were unbound, and Tabitha starts to train Jordan. And so why did I say Jordan? Tabitha starts to train Camille, and that, you know, kind of leads into one of the big things of the episode, one of the big plot lines. And so while Camille is trying to figure out like what she needs to do, Jordan is like, well, why don't you just come stay with us? And so Mona starts just freaking out, because mind you, this is all right after the stuff with the Wraith. And so Mona is like freaking out, and she's like, no, I don't want nothing else to do with this. Jordan is always constantly trying to like fix things for other people, making decisions for the group, and you just, Camille, I ain't got nothing against you, but I don't want no parts of this. I don't want no parts of magic. I don't want no parts of what's going on. I just want to be good. I just want to focus on graduating college. So Sherise has also been trying to reach Taj this episode, but he hasn't been like responding to her, and he's left her on red for a couple of days ever since she told him like whatever man she gets with needs to be on her level. And so that's kind of obviously put like some distance between them, but Sherise has decided that being with Taj is actually what she wants. So child, it just gets messier from there. So Angela and Mona obviously are having issues, you know, like with each other. And so Sharice's power did not make things any better. It just made it kind of worse, because, you know, Mona made this big declaration, and then now she's not even really wanting to look at Mona like talking about. And so there's a scene in the bar where Angela tries to kiss Mona, but Mona's like, girl, anyway, whatever. And she leaves. And so, Mona, Sherise is talking to Angela, and she's just like, girl, what's going on there? And she's just like, I don't know, she made this big declaration, and she blah, 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 and things just haven't been the same. And so then Angela goes ahead and she leaves. And so while Sherise is sitting there alone, Claudette shows up, and I was like, oh my God, like literally that was my reaction. I was like, oh my God, like why is Claudette talking to Sherise? And so, because I thought she was going to try to hurt her, I really did. And so once Sherise realizes who Claudette is, she tried, y'all, it was so funny. She tried to use her power on Claudette. Why did Claudette sit there and like laugh low-key at this woman and was like, girl, that's the best you can do? Anyway, when I tell you I was on the floor, I was ready for these two characters to interact, and they did not disappoint me in any shape, form, or fashion. I was so excited. And so anyway, Sherise, while she's talking to Claudette is telling her like, I want to get Camille, you know, nothing good has probably come since she's been around y'all, and I'm sure you want her out of the way too. And Sherise is like, and so Claudette is like, yeah, anyway. And then she kind of reads Tabitha the Filth for training Sherise like to not use her power like to its full extent. And she's like, you could have riches, you could have everything you've ever wanted, you could have millions of people like just enthralled with you, and what are you doing with this power, girl? Anyway, and so she gives Sherise this card, and she's like, you can't give the card to somebody else, because your memory is gonna go when you try to, you know, give it to them or tell them about it. And I was like, dang, that's a good spell to have. Like, because mind you, Claudette is trying to like cover her tracks, because she's trying to make sure that Tabitha doesn't know she's in town. Whew, I was here for it. That is the kind of magic I need in my life. And I'm talking about like on the TV show. Like, that's the kind of magic I needed to be seeing. So a little later in the episode, Angela makes, I can't remember if it was that point. Oh Lord, I should have written down what sequence. So during the events of the episode, Angela makes a potion for Camille that'll help her like control her power. And so it actually really does help. And Camille ends up going back to Tabitha, and Tabitha's like, girl, I see a big improvement in this. And so she's like, yeah, Angela made me this potion. And I was kind of thinking like that Tabitha was going to be like, girl, don't be using potions to control your power. You got to learn how to do it. But she was like, whatever it's doing, it's working. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. So to wind down the episode, for me, my episode review, two big things happen. So Camille goes to the club, and she's just trying to unwind, whatever, and she bumps into a man, and they spill a drink and they end up talking and connecting and whatever. And so the man is like, yeah, why are you single? Da, 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 da. And Camille kind of starts telling us a little bit about her background. And she says that, you know, her family moved around a lot and that she didn't, you know, get a chance to really connect with people. And then her job, you know, is surrounded by death. So she doesn't get a chance to connect with the people at her job because they end up dying. And so her and the man, he's like, do you want to get out of here? And she's like, why get out of here when there's a perfectly good bathroom? And I was like, girl, the bathroom? The bathroom? I don't know. It was just something so, I don't want to say low class. I'm not going to say low class. I'm going to say there was just, I was just like, girl, we can do a little bit better than a bathroom, I think. And so, guess who the man was, y'all? Because this was the messy part. The man was Taj. The man was Taj. And so, Sherise goes to the club, goes to that same club, or bar. It was a bar. And she sees Camille and Taj coming out the bathroom together. And, you know, Sherise is like, she is hot. And so Camille is like, oh, hey, Sherise. And then Taj is like, what's up, Sherise? And she's like, wait, y'all know each other? And then Sherise tells her that this is Taj. And Camille, okay, I will say this. Camille, when it comes to magic, will be in a hot minute. She gonna start questioning stuff. She gonna be like, I don't wanna do this. I'm finna go home. Like, Camille ain't been with that. But when she heard that that was Taj, the same man that Sherise had been like friends with, messing with, whatever you want to call it, she was like, oh, no. This ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't trying to be messy. I ain't trying to get involved. I ain't trying to whatever. And I really respected that. Because whether a person, you know, she didn't know that that was Taj. So, you know, but I respected the fact that she was being respectful of Sharice's feelings. And whether you want to argue that she doesn't owe Sherise anything or not, I just respected the fact that she took her feelings into consideration and was like, no, I really don't want to have no parts in this. I'm just, you know, I don't want to be messy like that. I respected that. And so Camille leaves and Sherise is talking to Taj, and he was like, you wasn't giving me no time, you was da-da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. And so Sherise entrances him and makes him and tells him that he's gonna miss her so much to the point that it hurts. And I was like, Sherise, that could backfire on you, my love. That could come back on you. So I'm gonna keep my eye on that. And so when they're outside, Camille is like, Camille is apologizing to Sherise. And Sherise, okay. I like the way Sherise talked to Camille, but I kind of don't like the way she handled the situation as a whole after the fact. Because when she was talking to Camille, she was like, look, I'm not mad at you because you didn't know, but I can't look at you right now because I'm mad at you. So it wasn't your fault, but I'm mad at you. So, and I understood that. Like, I felt like she was being aware. Like, she wasn't being delusional, being like, you went after my man. Da, 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 da. Like, I think she really assessed the situation and was like, you didn't, you know, like, you don't, whatever. Because mind you, Sherise has not liked Camille the entire time she has been here. Like, especially when she found out she had death magic, Sherise was like, no ma'am, no ma'am, you need to go. And so, you know, the fact that she was like willing to be that open with her, I really like that. But going forward, in the same scene, Camille's head starts hurting, whatever. And so, Claudette, I don't remember if Claudette called Sherise or Sherise called Claudette. I don't remember which one happened. But mind you, Claudette is like in the parking lot. Like, she's watching all of this happen. And so, I don't know. I don't remember who called who first. But, you know, Sherise was basically like, you telling me you can get her up out my life? And she's like, and you're not gonna hurt nobody else? And Claudette said, And so Sherise was like, all right, cool. So I don't know if that means she's gonna help her get Camille or if she's just gonna allow Claudette to get Camille. I'm not sure yet. So I'm excited to see what happens from there. And then so at the end of the episode, like, Camille is looking for answers. She's like, I need to understand what's going on. I need to understand like what's happening here. And Tabitha like reveals to Camille that Claudette is actually her birth mother. Baby, I was gagged. It's like, okay, I say that because I already kind of figured it, because when Claudette was when Claudette started laughing maniacally at the end of the other episode, she was holding what looked like her womb. Like, not just her stomach, but her actual womb. And so I was like, well, not her actual womb, but you know what I'm saying. Like how you would cradle your womb when you're pregnant. Y'all know what I'm saying. When I tell you, I was sitting there like, where are we going with this? So it's gonna get messy, and baby, I am here for it. Oh my God, I cannot believe that I didn't tell y'all about the part that like had me gagged a little bit too. So Sherise, okay, so Sherise went home at like earlier in the episode, and she was like, she came in, Angela and Mona were sitting there because Angela and Mona had talked, and Angela was like, what led you to this? Like, why are you doing this? And Mona's like, I don't know. I was talking to Sherise, and then I came in here and I told you I wanted to be with you. I don't know what happened. And then they both realized that Sherise must have used her power on Mona. And so when she gets home, they confront her about it. And she's like, well, I was just trying to help, blah, 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 blah. And so like Mona slaps, like she gets ready to leave, she slaps the ever-living shit out of Sherise. And Sherise looked at Angela and was like, Angela! And she really thought Angela was gonna help her. Angela was like, no ma'am, you know how I feel about that, and you still used your power on her, and you ruined both of our lives, and now I done lost her for good. And I was like, oh my God, like I was so hurt. I was hurting more than Sharice's face. And so then Sherise goes, her and Jordan end up going to get a drink, and Jordan is already upset because of what Mona told her about her always trying to fix stuff. And so Jordan was like, as they're commiserating, Jordan is like, see, that's our problem. We always trying to fix other people and not ourselves. We're not trying to do anything for ourselves. And I was like, look at my girl Jordan with the insight. She had to be drunk, but she got the insight. So yeah, with all of that said, this episode, okay, this was a good episode because it was eventful without being like jam-packed. Not that the other episodes are, but you know how sometimes like when you have a shorter season, you have to do a lot in a very short amount of time, and so you just start kind of like throwing stuff at people. I think this show gets away with it because they have it doesn't feel like a month has passed in between scenes, because you know sometimes when you are dealing with like a show that has a short season, the episodes, like from episode to episode, it might be like 6 weeks that since this happened, or 8 months since that happened in between episodes or something. But I like the fact that it's staying like pretty consistent. You can tell time has passed since they met each other, but it's not like in universe it's like 2028 right now, so I enjoy that. And I know that's a very small thing, but trust me, it makes a difference. Like, I don't want to watch the show and you're trying to like force growth on me. So I like the fact that they're taking their time and they're actually still showing us like elements of everyone's character, and people are actually going through character arcs. So I'm here for that. I'm gonna address Jordan because I feel like if I do like a series, like season 1 overview, I'm gonna probably address it a little bit more in depth. But Jordan is a character that I feel like you are either going to love or you're going to hate. I personally like her because I can see where Jordan is coming from, and I see the character that they're trying to make from her. I feel like people get very surface level when it comes to stuff sometimes, and it's like, I don't like Jordan because she's annoying, when in reality it's like, do we even know enough about Jordan for you to be getting mad like that? Like, yes, she's mad annoying sometimes, and yes, she will make your head like spin, but I think Jordan is one of those characters that you can really look at and say, there's something underneath that. She's not just doing this because that's her personality and she's just like, I think as time goes on and we really start to see like what is leading her to this, I think people may start to come around to her. And so the other thing that I really think about Jordan that's interesting is even just from things that she said about like wanting to carry her weight in the coven. I don't know. I kind of feel like because she told Camille that her family doesn't do magic. Like, she's like one of the only ones, not the only ones, but she's basically by herself. Like, her family does not do magic. She's the one that does it. And she comes from a non-magical family. And so part of me thinks that, like, just from a character perspective, she's kind of like Hermione, where she feels maybe like she needs to overcompensate, or she needs to show them I'm just as talented as y'all, or I have the same amount of power that y'all have, or whatnot. And not to say Hermione does that, like from Harry Potter, not to say she does that like she's just like obnoxious, but you know how Hermione has that, like, she has like that kind of tunnel vision on getting things done. I feel like Jordan is kind of like that. I feel like Jordan's comes from a place of wanting to contribute to the team. Like, it's not that she's not competent. It's just she wants to be able to give more to the team than what she feels like she currently is. So it was good to kind of see her have that moment of, I'm trying to take all of this on myself when I don't need to be making decisions for other people. I need to let other people make their decisions for themselves, or we need to make it as a group. I did enjoy that. Y'all, my girl Sherise. I don't know what Sherise got going on right now, because it's like, what I like about Sherise though, you can tell she's used to being by herself to a certain extent. I'm gonna say to a certain extent, you can tell she's used to being like the hard one, you know, like, I'm good, I'm gonna take care of me, I'm, you know, whatever. But she also has a loyalty to her friends. And even with the whole thing with Camille, where, you know, her basically telling Claudette, like, do what you're gonna do, I still feel like that comes from a place of love for her friends, because she's trying to protect them and make sure they're good and make sure their lives are okay. She's kind of doing the same thing that Jordan is doing a little bit, like making a big decision for the group that really is something she should have talked to everyone about. Even if she didn't include Camille, it's something that somebody else should have at least known about, but I don't know the extent to which she could talk to that because of the spell that Claudette cast. So, you know, and it's even like with Taj, like, you can tell it took a lot for her to put that barrier down and say, okay, I do want to be with you, you know, I'm sorry, whatever. And I'm interested to see where Sherise goes from here, because my girl is she's such a good character. Like, I love when a character is knowledgeable about something, but they don't like wave it in your face every 5 minutes. Like, she's not running around saying like, yeah, I'm the strongest in this group, I can da-da-da-da, blah, 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 blah. But when the time comes, the knowledge is there. Like, she's knowledgeable about death magic. She knows about, you know, rituals. She knows about spells, stuff like that. Like, her family has been doing this, and you can tell when it comes time to do the magic or talk about it. So I appreciate her for that. I appreciated seeing more of Mona and Angela, because the thing about the two of them is, I have no doubt in my mind that Angela and Mona care about each other. But Mona has been through a lot. And I think, especially because Angela was part of that process to bring her back, she may be subconsciously harboring some resentment towards her. I don't think she hates her. I think she's just now this is me talking. My opinion don't mean nothing outside of my head, but it almost feels like she just is sort of associating the magic with Angela, and she knows she's not gonna be able to like separate those two things. And I just, oh God, I hope they work out. I hope they work out. If they don't, or you know what, I'm not gonna say I hope they work out. I'm going to say that I hope whatever is the healthiest for them happens. Like, if they decide and they realize they don't need to be together because it's not going to be healthy for Mona, do it. Or Mona feels like she's not going to be able to give Angela, you know, all she deserves because she whatever, then I'm fine with that too. Because I think the characters deserve to be happy, and they deserve to, you know, do what makes them feel good. Camille is growing on me. I don't hate Camille, but Camille is the one that low-key be getting on my nerves sometimes. And I can't put my finger on why. That's the thing, is like, I can't put my finger on why Camille bothers me sometimes. But I will say this much. I do love the fact that Camille is like a POV character when it comes to like magic stuff happening, because she's like, y'all can... And she's warming up to it now. But I just appreciate the fact that when stuff will go down, she'll be like, no ma'am. No ma'am. So, you know, I know people have said they have issues still with the production, with the pacing and stuff like that. I think they're telling the story as best they can. Are there some areas where they probably could tighten up? Yes. But there's story for a room for every story to tighten up. And I'm not a film critic. I'm just a fat guy in a room on the internet telling people what I think about a television show I'm watching. That's all I got. Those are my credentials. But for me, I enjoy the way the show is going right now. I'm trying to think of like anything I would really like to see. I do hope that they start to explore more of like the dynamic between Tabitha and the girls, because I do think it's starting to happen, but I think that's starting to happen through Camille, if that makes any sense. So like, you know, we've seen her with Jordan, now we're seeing her with Camille, and it just, I don't know why I'm like wanting that so bad. And I just think because there's, when you have a coven of witches, like take American Horror Story Coven, right? So was Fiona a good Supreme? Debatable, but no. But you saw her interact with the people in the house, in the coven. It may not have been every single episode, but you did see her interact with them. And a big part of the problem on that show was the fact that she hadn't been interacting with them for quite some time. And so I think the issue I'm kind of having like with the way the show is Wicked City is doing it is, if part of the story was that Tabitha was far removed from the group, and so now she's having to come back into the fold because of that, I think that probably would like stop me from kind of focusing on that, because then it's like, okay, well, she's not interacting with them because she's not used to interacting with them, and she's kind of having to force herself to do so. But the fact that she's trained them and like they're all together, you know, it just feels very strange that they wouldn't be like, let me text Tabitha. And I'm not saying that they need to spend every single scene with Tabitha. That's not what I'm saying. But you would think it would be like, for Angela, like, I'm missing some of my potion ingredients or something. Let me call Tabitha and see if she, you know, borrowed some. Or, you know, if it's Mona, be like, oh, I'm having trouble with my power again. Let me call Tabitha and see. You know what I mean? Like, you see what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be her interacting with them every 5 minutes. It can be little moments where they say, I'm going to talk to Tabitha. And then, of course, we do, you know, she'll get more scenes with them talking. But I know I talked a lot about that. But I'm gonna leave that alone. I don't know if y'all know this about me, but I get like, when I get hyper focused on stuff, I will go on it. Overall, I think it was a good episode. I really think it was good. I love that bombshell at the end, because even though you kind of knew it was coming, it was still like, oh my God. So I'm ready for the next episode. The next episode is probably going to come on Thursday. So, or I say it's probably. The next episode is coming on Thursday. And I'm actually, I think, going to be doing a review with someone else, like a live reaction type thing. So y'all be looking out for that. And I will talk to y'all later. Please leave any comments or thoughts you have down below. Like and subscribe, please. It would help out the channel so much. And I hope y'all have a great rest of the day. If I don't talk to y'all before the new year, Happy New Year. We have a lot of stuff planned for 2023, so just stick around. I hope to see y'all there, and see you later.